Stephen Browning.
I heard from the government side there a concern that the Greens might have been overstating the need for ecological assessments, and a suggestion that all farmers are probably doing an ecological assessment each day. That level of ecological assessment, unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, is too often too shallow. I think there's some fantastic stuff has happened in the high country in terms of high country farmers, family farmers, but there is a need to ensure that the best practices happen, or biological biodiversity protection is happening all of the time. That 2% of unimproved land value for something like 50 years, decades, was super cheap, and there's no real justification for that, and there's no justification for keeping it unreasonably low. However, we believe that these farms should be kept for New Zealand farming families or biodiversity and environmental protection. Income-related rents have merit when strong environmental protections are assured and biodiversity gains are measurable, when stocking and pest intensity does not degrade further the natural erosion that has been exacerbated by early clearance and overgrazing. There were some shocking practices in the high country in years gone by. Income-related rentals can be appropriate if not turned into cheapo privatisation that later becomes a goldmine for property developers, a windfall, not protection nor production by the family farmers we want to respect. Protection for biodiversity, ecological features, landscape and family farming can be achieved by this bill, but there are weaknesses that should have been amended. My regular experiences in the Marlborough High Country reinforce my desire that the High Country is given more respect than this bill may allow in the hands of the national government. I recall another pleasant experience in the High Country near where I was born in central Otago. Jackie Dean is not the only one that has roots or connection down there. And that was when Prince Charles visited New Zealand last. I met him at the luncheon provided near Alexandra, where he was toured over a property to see sustainability improvements. I was a little ashamed of what he was being shown at the time, to be honest, but that's what he was being shown and toured over. I believe that property had a way to go. But I was there, privileged in my previous role with the Soil and Health Association, to gift to Prince Charles an organic, BioGrow certified merino shawl directly ahead of his coming nuptials with Camilla Parker Bowles. Certified organic production is one way to ensure a higher level of environmental stewardship than sometimes occurs with less progressive operators. This government has dropped the ball on organics in New Zealand, treating it like some sector that has no real vision about genuine sustainability, and the sectors that don't have that vision genuinely. National expects that organics, which is contributing plenty through good practice in most cases, that it should be also fund the next tranche of conversions to sustainable development. National is not actually understanding that those pioneers in organics are the ones that have done a whole lot of work and should have no real personal reason that they should be funding the next tranche. One thing that Prince Charles also said to me there, that New Zealand would be absolutely nuts to be going down the genetic engineering path, and yet National again is going down that path and putting money into pastures, pasture grasses genetically engineered that may end up in the high country. That must stop, and as we say with this bill, there's some real possibility, if the science behind the ecological assessments is valid, and if that science is valid, this bill may go some way to ensuring a high country has a good future. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Louise Upston.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm pleased to take the final call on the third reading of the Crown Pastoral Land Rent